Another frequently asked question I get is, how do I make money? What did I do when I was on the road? This is what a lot of people stress about, reasonably so, before starting any endeavor, alternative living endeavor, whether it is van life or RV life or alternative, off-grid homesteading. It's always, what am I going to do? How can I navigate and find enough time to do the things I enjoy while still being able to afford the lifestyle, no matter how low-key or regular it is. And that's something I used to stress out about a lot. Before I just jumped into it and just started doing what I already knew how to do, I thought that I would have to have some kind of fancy telecommuting job to be able to have a consistent income and the freedom to travel, because I was like, otherwise, how else am I going to do it? But there's so many ways I've learned how to figure out the balance that's best for you. I am a carpenter. I've been a carpenter for over a decade, and that's what I was doing. And I was trying to go up the ladder. I wanted to be a construction manager. I wanted to be a leader in the field of construction, inspire other women of color, and so on and so on. But there are some people in power who did not think that I was a suitable candidate for this multiple times, so I decided to kind of give up on that and just work with what I have, which was still my trim carpentry, just general carpentry skills. So first, I was just doing event gigs, short-term gigs, and day gigs or night gigs, loading up or loading out trucks for concerts. And then I moved on to music festivals, and those jobs would be a little bit longer, say, a few weeks or a month. But the next thing that I did, right before I moved into my van and everything like that, and I was still raising money for, building materials and stuff like that, I put out Facebook posts and just said, hey guys, this is what I'm trying to do. These are the skills that I have. I was like, I can paint, I can do drywall, I can do exterior construction, or I can do exterior carpentry. I can do lots of stuff. You need me to clean your Airbnb, I'll clean your Airbnb. And I got a few gigs that summer from my friends, just because I put out the word and said, hey, if you got some work that you need done around your place and you don't want to do it, help a sister out. So that was very helpful. Also, when I finally did get on the road, I started doing housework or house sitting as well, just friends. And then it kind of grew into being referred to people, and then maybe if my friend of a friend had was going to travel someplace and needed a house sitter, then I could come, even if I wasn't intending on being in that city. Why not be in that city if I can just chill at a place and get paid a little bit of money and not have to worry about spending that much, just lay low for a couple of days? No problem. That worked super awesome. Another thing is serendipity, and we're still just talking about networking and stuff like that. I found a few jobs just by connecting with people or meeting people. There was this one time, or the first couple of days when I was in my in van life, when I was camping, or I tried to camp in Texas. I got stuck in the desert, and it was in a cattle ranch, and it was on Sunday. No one was coming to help me, so I managed to find a mechanic on Craigslist who was able to get me out of the desert. And you guys, I was in the desert. I was like an hour away from the biggest town, which is Amarillo, Texas. And that town's not big. So this crew helped me, and I paid them, of course, to help me. But the money, I think I paid them like $200 to help get me out of that fucking desert, man. And they knew, like, I was going to miss that money. So one of the girls who was in the group that helped me, she said, hey, my mom runs like a maid service, and if you can come in tomorrow in the morning, we might be able to find you a job for the day so you can make up a little bit of the money that you gave us. And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, thank you. So, like, it's just random ways. You just gotta, like, keep an open mind and keep your eyes open and always, like, let people know that you got a good work ethic. And here's another thing. It's weird, but when I was on Tinder, I'm not on Tinder or any of those dating apps, but when I was, because, I was on the road, I was having my hot girl Vanlife summer, I put that I was a carpenter on my profile, and I actually got a few jobs from that. I think I did like one. I helped someone flip a house. I tore out the floors and the OSB floorboards of another house. And whether they really wanted some work done or they just found something to have done just so that they could hang out with me, as long as I got paid, I did not care. So that's always an interesting story, finding jobs on Tinder. Finding legal jobs on Tinder. Okay, so another thing I would do is go on Craigslist. Usually when I was on the road, I would have a general idea of which cities I wanted to head up, or which area I was willing to go to. So I would always lay out some time before I get to that region, like maybe a day or two before I get to that town. I would look on Craigslist and see if there were any like gigs. And if there was anything, I was replying to almost everything. I don't care how ridiculous, how stupid it sounded, as long as no one expected me to like be there long term. They knew that I was doing it today and I was gone tomorrow. That was good. So, yeah, I would have all different kinds of jobs. Once I was like a sign waiver for like a Sears that was like closing down, or JC Penney's that was closing down. Been a survey taker. I did that weird thing where I was like digging a trench underneath some dude's house in Dallas. Oh my goodness, that was a long story. But yeah, the dude needed a pipe laid underneath his old ass fucking stone house. And there was only like maybe 3 feet of clearance between the floor joist and the actual ground. And he needed someone to dig that down and out so that a grown man could fit underneath his house and lay down the pipe. That was one of those weird jobs. I was underneath that house and I was digging, and I was just like, oh my fucking god, what am I doing? But I got paid, I got my money, definitely have a great story to tell. So some of the jobs are not going to be fabulous. Some of these jobs you're just going to be like, I'm just here just to get some money. But it's one less worry, and you'll be able to move on to the next town. The last thing we're going to fit in here is temp work agencies and agencies such as like labor finders and stuff like that. I didn't think I'd be able to go to a regular temp work agency because I thought it was all about like office work and stuff, but they have some pretty straightforward things. Like I was a hotel maid, like we set up a new hotel. And there were some other jobs, but yeah, that was surprisingly consistent. They were even calling me to see if I wanted to take jobs even after I left that town. And labor finders. Labor finders is good, but you gotta get up early in the morning to register, and you gotta be up early to get those jobs, because I think the jobs like dispatched at 6:30, and they might not have a job for everyone who's waiting in line. so that's another like risky thing. But yeah, feel free to look up more about these. I'm going to I think I'm captioning the video with, more like ideas and suggestions. But that's just a little bit of my playbook when it comes to making money on the road, or making money and not wanting to have to sign up for some 9 to 5 every day. All right, you guys, talk to you later.